Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 20th, and I read an article that triggered some thought processes. The article dealt with, what are we going to do about the 2024 election? Is there a candidate on the horizon who looks like they could turn this country around? And so I got to thinking about that. And I can quite honestly tell you that there are only a few things in my mind that might help turn this country around. So now I'm going to talk about how I would vet the presidential candidate. The sex does not matter at all in my mind. In my mind, the first thing I would want would be somebody who is younger than the past two presidents. Somebody who could be around the age of what Barack Obama was. He was in his 40s, his mid to late 40s. Somebody like that, early 50s. That it would be critical to me. I'm tired of seeing doddering old men coming to the stage and talking. And I consider Trump a doddering old man also, way off the wall. So we don't want anybody like that. We want a clear thinker, somebody who's going to tell us the truth all the time. And I don't care if the person's a Republican or a Democrat. And I don't care what color his skin is, as long as he has stated certain positions that I agree with and that can get him elected. And I don't want him lying about things or her lying about things. It's critical that we have an honest, forward-thinking person in that position. I think he should be culturally in the center. Little left of center, little right of center, doesn't really matter that much. But I think the nation needs somebody strong in the center there. And I want a guy that dresses properly, not overdressed, not underdressed, casually dressed, but properly dressed all the time. And of course I want him to be articulate, or her to be articulate, so there can be no misunderstandings of the things that he's talking about. And as far as the issues are concerned, 3 or 4 issues are very major in this country. And probably the number one issue that I would want him standing on is the gun-toting situation in this country. At the very least, he should be a staunch supporter of banning assault rifles. I think that would be a critical start in my mind if he could come out with a plan that I believe could be passed with respect to assault weapons, weapons of mass destruction. So any way that he could present that to the people that I think has a chance of getting through the stubbornness that exists in this country about people and their guns, that would be a wonderful thing. And then I would like to hear his position on the Supreme Court and what we could do about this politically motivated Supreme Court. How could he arrange to possibly fix that? Now, I'm not against the Supreme Court in any way, shape, or form, but I'm against the methodology that allowed us to get into this pickle with the Supreme Court. And the methodology started with Mitch McConnell taking 8 months and not getting Merrick Garland voted on. So if he could do something about that situation, that would be wonderful. And if he had a presentation even about term limits perhaps on the Supreme Court, or an age limit on the Supreme Court, that would also go over well with me. Another thing I think is of great importance, we need a change to our campaign funding and the length of the campaigning that we do. Presidential campaigns should have a 3-month limit. Raising money for campaigns should also have a limit. You should not have hundreds of millions of dollars in your PAC. So if he could do anything with respect to campaign funding and the length of campaigns, I would love to see that. And in the area of foreign policy, I think he needs to be a fighter, or she needs to be a fighter for the rights of countries around the world. So I would think that he should stand, or she should stand in the front willing to accept into NATO, into the European Union, countries that want to belong there. It takes too long for countries to get into either one of those organizations. And he should be a leader in recruiting the proper countries for those organizations. Because as we see with Russia and its attack on the Ukraine, NATO did not react fast enough, even though the Ukraine is not a member. We have to stand by the other democracies in the world. And that may go against some of this country's disposition to not put our men and women at risk because of things that are happening around the world. But those things that happen around the world affect us greatly. Part of the problem with the situation that we are in right now is because Russia has destroyed the breadbasket, the Ukraine, and all of the food that it was able to ship around the world. Russia has destroyed that. And that's a major piece of the inflation that we are fighting right now. So in foreign policy, I think we have to take a look at the way we properly recruit our allies and get the world straightened out. If we ought to be the world leader, we need a strong leader here who not only can lead this country, but can make an impact on the rest of the world. And so I think I want a man or a woman who can do those things, who is open-minded in a lot of areas. Not very progressive, because we are not ready for that yet. And certainly not leaning toward the right, because we have too much of that in this country. So I want youth, and I want experience, and I probably want brilliance also, but not so that it offends people. Because there are many people who are offended by somebody of great intellect. So this person has to be kind of human. And that's what I think. I think this country needs a change, a major change. And it has to come quickly. So I leave you with that this morning. And have a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.